All right, welcome back guys. So as we said, so now we're gonna start our practice. Ama namna gani? Tumesema this month hakuna mchezo, there is no playing, okay? So right here ni kutumia ile Windows niliwashow. So these are 32-bit. Let me show you. So yeah, so these are 32-bit and 32-bit operating system. Oops, sorry. So 32-bit operating system and is a 2 GB RAM. So this is a desktop. Speed yake ni 2.90 gigahertz. So what does this tell you? Whatever machine you have, my guy, you can start practicing how to learn to code, okay? How to code, you can start practicing this thing, okay? So let's dive in. So this is what I'm going to be using, a Windows 7 Ultimate. Na mnajua tu powerfulness ya Windows 7 inakonga very stable, a very stable operating system. Haina mambo mingi, very perfect. Najua mnajiuliza tutatoa wapi hizi practice challenges, right? So don't worry, you know who got us covered? Leo si mimi. Who got us covered? So we're gonna head up to FrontendMentor.io. Okay, so I'm gonna leave a link below. So hapo ndo tutakuwa tukitoa our designs, okay? Sikia tu vile inasema, improve your coding skills by building realistic project. Let's just angalia tu hii tu inakupatia tu motisha, inakupatia morali my guy, eh? So hapa ndo mali tutakuwa tukitoa wa challenges. Ukijua huu jamaa Kevin Powell, CSS guru manze, I love this guy. And then kuna Jessica Chan hapa, also is a web developer and a YouTuber like me here. So yeah, so hii ni FrontendMentor.io. So hapa ndo tutakuwa tukigeta our design. So who are we? We are web developers. We are web developers. We are not web designers, okay? So kazi ya web designer is to do what? Kazi yake ni kudesign the mockups. Tutakuja kuongelea a video about the difference between a web designer and a web developer later. So kazi yetu hapa ni kucode, turning the designs into actual thing, okay? Kitu ambayo sasa unafinya button inafinyika. Unajua design ukifinya button na kitu hakuna kitu inafanya, okay? So right, so you're gonna log in with your GitHub. So make sure you create your GitHub account. It's very simple, straightforward. Head up to GitHub. I'm gonna have a video again for our GitHub about GitHub, Git, hizo ma command. Nakuja kuwafunza, don't worry. So head up to github.com, sign up. I already have my account there. So I'm gonna log in GitHub. So GitHub ni hii hapa, acha load. Okay, so hapa ndo mali utakukieka your projects, your repo. We're gonna talk about this later, sindio? So let's pick our practice, first challenge practice. So I'm gonna log in this one. My password, of course, is wasomea ama namna gani. Okay, I'm gonna sign in. Acha ya authorize. Nifungie kwanza. Alright, please do not refresh the page. So ndo hiyo naingia hapo. Yeah, so I've already done some challenges mentor school. So ukiwa na stuck mahali, umekwama mahali, I can become your great mentor, okay? So nilisema mwingi hapo kwa GitHub. So you can also follow me at GitHub. So GitHub ni wapi? Mahali una drop your projects, your repo. Unaona hizi projects zote nimefanya. So let me enter my profile. Yeah, so Jumanji Gomez. So this is me here, guys. So yeah, my name is Juma and I'm a software engineer. Yeah? So this is my portfolio. Yeah, is it lovely? Yeah, I'm your guy, Mr. Juma, aka Juma The Developer. So make sure you hit the follow. Naona wasona ni follow ni nani. Fanyeni mambo. Okay, so which will be, so ukisha sign up kwa Frontend Mentor, kuna challenge ya kwanza unapewangwa. Okay, so let me show you that challenge ya kwanza. I've completed almost 33 of them. So this one, hii ndo utapewa. So hii ndo utapewa. So make sure you unapewa kitu kama hii QR code component, okay? A perfect first challenge if you're new to HTML and CSS. So ukiangalia hii preview design is just a div. So ndio just a div, and then kuna some text here, right? So let me show you. So kuna some text here, Yeah, and then there is a image here. Okay, so we're gonna do that right away. So let's start our video. After downloading your starter files from frontendmentor.io, so utapata kitu kama hii, just a zip file of that project, of that challenge I mean. So if you open, let's extract this file here for desktop. Okay, so let me delete that one. So this folder, we've got the design, we've got the designs, okay, and then for mobile design, for desktop design, we've got the images files, okay. So tuko na images, tuko na the index file. So what I want you to do, you know you have already installed the VS Code. Na wale watu wa simu pia, I know you have downloaded and installed the code editor and the A code. So it's just the same. What I'm doing here, you are able to do in your mobile phone, okay. So I'm gonna open this folder with the code. So open with the code. Already ukiinstall vizuri, unakuanga na hii option ya open with the code. So I'm gonna open with the code. So acha ifungue na VS Code. So let's give it a time. This is Windows 7. I'm gonna use it just for basic practices, lakini tukiingia kwa mobile dev itabidi tume-upgrade ama namna gani? Yeah, so tutaingia kwa laptop yangu baadaye. So most of the time utapata nitumia either 2-bit projects zingine, practices zingine utapata natumia 64-bit, zingine utapata natumia my mobile phone, so don't worry. So here it is. Unapata kama hii. Let me increase the font, so you can click Control and plus to increase the font size just for you guys. So we are getting how many? So tunapatana na hizi, tuko na design here, we have the images, yeah, index.html. So if you open this on desktop design, unapata kitu kama hii, okay. So you get something like this. So before you start coding, you must understand the design image, okay, how it is arranged. What are you gonna use? Kama ni divs, kama ni h1, kama ni image tag iko hapo, kama kuna link hapo, okay. So you gonna need to study the design first, okay. Okay, so hapa lazima tu design hii image, si ndio? So what I likely want to do, sitaki kufungulia hapa, I'm gonna open this image design with Microsoft Picture, okay, Microsoft Picture Manager. Okay, you can open it with any photo editor, okay. So nafungua nayo so that I can show you what we need here, okay. Okay, so hapa tuko na a rectangular box. So hapa tuko na rectangular box, si ndio? So this rectangular box, tuko na hii ya nje, the outside one with the background white. Sorry for the mouse skills. Hapa tunahitaji mouse skill kuchora hizi line. So tuko na hiyo div ya background white, and then we have another div ama another image tag hapa ndani, okay. So this is another div obvious of an image, okay. Now again we have two types of text here. Tuko na hii heading text ama title text, okay. And then we have this paragraph tag, p tag. The p tag is what? Sorry for that. So tuko na hiyo p tag hapo. So how many divs are here? How many div tulisema ni nini on our basic playlist? Tulisema a div is a rectangular region, is like a box, okay. So how many boxes do you see here? The one that I've arranged, I've highlighted with these annotated, okay. Nimechora na hizo lines za green. Kuna ngapi? Kuna this one, si ndio? This one, we have this one, we have this one, we have this one, and we have this one. So there are how many? 5 elements in our web. And don't forget we have the body tag here ambayo iko na background something here. Unaiona hiyo? This one. Sijui niweke na hilo. Sawa, this one. Okay? The whole of this one. So now we have understood what element we need. And another thing, keep it in mind, ni kwamba this div tag, okay, this what? Hii iko centered, it is centered inside the body. So now wale ambao pia wajui ku center div element, kwa this video you're gonna get the tip and the trick, okay? You're gonna get the tricks on how we can center a div element using basics kama display flex hizo ndawaonyesha, okay? So tuanze kucode. So I'm gonna close this up. I must start close, but okay, let me just close it. Turudi kwa our code editor ama our VS Code. So again, before you start solving these Frontend Mentor challenges, lazima tuangalie hizi style guide umetumia, okay? So kuna colors hapa, so ziko hapo, kila kitu umeprovidiwa. Kazi yako ni kucode, my bro, okay? Body copy wamesema font size ya paragraph ni 15 pixels. Kuna font family hapa. So alafu kitu ingine, lazima tu download your font, si ndio? So before we do all of the styles, first thing first, we must start with our HTML, our skeleton. So lazima to come up with a skeleton ambayo ita resemble this design, okay? So now tunaangalia hii desktop design. Kiangalia desktop design tuko na a div element, right? So we have this main, the main tag. So this main will be with the background, and then we have this div element, the container inside the main element. So lazima ujue vile utaweka your skeleton, okay? Now tukiangalia hapa tuko na this one. So if you remember what I'll just do, I'll just change the title, give it your name. So my name, I prefer using Jumanji. I love this movie very much. Okay, Jumanji there, and then the name of the challenge, QR code component. So I'm gonna remove this tile from here, and then now before I delete this one, I know this is itakusaidia, acha tu nizi comment out. So I'm gonna click control and what, the /. Okay, so ikishafinywa hapo. So nimesema tutakuwa tukitumia because of the SEO, the accessibilities, and we have upgraded to an HTML5. So utapata nikitumia main tag, section tags, okay? Ndo tuweke hii div element katikati in order to center it, okay? So nakuja niandike hapa main tag, okay? So I'm gonna give it an ID of, okay, so I'm gonna give a main ID tag of main, still main, okay, so that I can define it very well on my CSS, okay? So main ID main, okay, and then I have a div. So your div itakuwa ile ya nje. So ukitaka kuandika with the class name, unaweza andika div dot, okay, dot what, the name of that class. I'm gonna say container. So naipatia container. So your container itakuwa gani? Hii ya white, okay, that rectangular area white. Inside this container, I'm gonna have how many elements? You said tutakuwa na hii image, div for image, div for this title, and div for this text here. So I'm gonna say div dot title, okay, sorry, div dot img part. I'm gonna give the img tag, this for image, okay? And then hapa tuko na this source. Hii source ni nini? So hii source ni malio image umestore. So nikisema yangu iko kwa hii folder ya images, nasema tu images / and then inakuja kitu kama hii. So what is the name of the image QR code.png, right? And then this alt is mainly used by the SEO, search engine optimization. So inakuanga very good for accessibility issues, okay? Okay, so alt tutaipatia in case your image haita load, what is the alternative text itaonyeshwa hapo? Tutasema tu QR code image. Ama tutasema tu QR code wherever, okay? And then we have our title part. So in every HTML web page ama website, lazima kuwe na ka title, si ndio? H1. Hata kama inatoshana aje. Unaona hii? Anaona hakuna title lingine hapa. Kuna title lingine hakuna. So tuko na hii title, improve your front-end skill. So this will be our H1 because there is no other title, only this one. Itakuwa H1, lakini itakuwa H1 nini? Ndogo. So unajua H1 ni kubwa. So sisi minimize using the font size property in CSS, okay? So improve your front end. And then we have the text bar. So we're gonna come back here. I'm gonna copy paste. So I'm gonna write here H1. And then take this, improve your front end, so X, and then Control V. Then we come to our text part. So the text part ni hii. Itakuwa nini? The P tag, the paragraph, okay? So I'm gonna take this one, scan, okay, X, and then Control V, right? Haya, tumemalizana na hiyo container. Kuna kazi ingine? Let me zoom, Control plus. Tumemalizana na hiyo container. So we have this main tag. So main inakuanga poa sana for accessibility issues. And then div class container. And then we have div class image part. We have div class title part. We have div class text part. How many elements? How many div elements we have? 1, 2, 3, 4, and then we have the main 5. Hiyo ambayo itakuwa na hiyo background color ya something like blue there. Okay. So hizo colors zote tumeprovidiwa, so msikuwe na worry. Haya, after that kuna hiyo wanasema sijui div class contribution challenge by this Frontend Mentor. Okay, so what I mostly use chini ya hiyo div container tutasema just a footer. You name a footer tag. So hiyo footer, let me give it an idea of footer. Okay, napenda kupanga hivyo my code. So whenever another developer comes and pitia my code, then atapata nini? Title part, text part, ata understand this code easily. So that's why I'm telling you, my guy, this will be a unique channel, okay? So to learn tips and tricks while we are practicing, okay? So kwa hii footer natumia nini? Small. Unaona ile kuna tag ya HTML tag inaitwa small ambayo inakuanga sana kwa footer. Okay, just a small text itakuwa ikisema coded by and then your name. So hapo kwa your name unaweza sema ni vile umeweka hapa. There is an A tag here inaonyesha Frontend Mentor. Okay, challenge by Frontend Mentor. So let me take it here. So challenge by, and then tuko na hii A tag ambayo iko na href, the link to www.frontendmentor.io, ref equals challenge, and then target blank. So target blank inamaanisha mtu akifinya hiyo text ya Frontend Mentor itafungwa in new tab. Unaelewa? And then coded by href hashtag. So hapa wherever you have a portfolio, kama uko na portfolio hapa ndo unaweka link hiyo portfolio yako, website portfolio yako, okay? Ama unaweka GitHub profile hapa, okay? So mimi niko na my portfolio, so ndaweka https imehostiwa tu na github.io/jumanji /personal portfolio, and then your name here. So ninasema Jumanji, right? Yeah, just like that. So I'm gonna remove this comment here. Nishamalizana nayo. So this is our skeleton. Tunataka kuona hii skeleton yetu haina style yoyote, so I'm gonna right click and then open without live server. Ama unakumbuka hiyo extension, ama ukitaka unafinya hapa go live, ama ukitaka unafinya shortcut alt plus lo. So I'm gonna click open with the live server. So it will open up on your favorite default browser on your machine. Yeah, angalia vile inakaa. Okay, so we have this image imeconnect vizuri. We have this H1 here. We have this paragraph. We have this challenge by Frontend Mentor coded by Jumanji. All right. So let's move on to styling. All right. Namna gani? Now let's give some colors, some styles kwa hii skeleton yetu ama namna gani? So we gonna need a style sheet file, a style.css file, a CSS file in short, okay? So how many ways can we use to put a style sheet to our website? How many ways do you know? I already told you in our basics. So we have two main ways. Ya kwanza unaweza ika kama inline. Inline aje? So ukikuwa hapa on top of the head tag, closing head tag ama under the title tag, you just write style, okay, just the style tag, and then you give your styles, okay? Kama ni main, unapeana styles zako, okay? But for me, what I prefer, okay, this is good for beginners, okay? But for me, I prefer professionalism here, and the best user-friendly way and the most used way in the industry, we're gonna need to create an external style sheet, okay? So just come here on your working directory. So create a new folder outside, okay? So make sure you are outside. So create a new folder, style. And then inside that style folder, we're gonna create a style.css file, okay? Now we want to link that file we created inside our HTML. So tunaandika hapa link. Ukiandika link, kuna hizi auto complete zinakam. So this is a code editor of VS Code we are using. This is the good use of this updated code editors version. Okay, so tunafinya link CSS, and then inside href, okay, the way you pronounce it. So tutaandika the location where the folder is, okay? So style, and then /style.css. That's it. We've just linked our style sheet. Okay, now we come here, we open our styleguide.md. So Frontend Mentor already provided us with the colors and the font, okay? So the first thing we need to install or import this font, okay? The font family is Outfit, okay? So we're gonna come to this link. So just click Control and then the mouse button, open it up. Now when you click up the link, tunakuja kwa this the formal Google Fonts website. So hapa ndo font zinakuanga, whatever font you want, you just search here and then boom, okay? So hata nimepoteza, nilikuwa nahitaji Outfit. So we need this Outfit. So which weight? The weight means the boldness ama the light ama the size, okay? Hiyo boldness, hiyo weight. So Frontend Mentor wametuambia kwamba tutumie weight ya 400 na 700. So tunakam hapa, tuko na 400 the regular and the 700 the bold one. So nowadays Google Font have updated, so we're gonna just click the get font here, get font, and then we choose get embed code, okay? Get embed code. So we have two ways how we can link up our Google font or our font style, our font family kwa website yetu. So unaweza tumia the link way or the import way. So which one do I prefer? I'm gonna prefer the import way. So the link inakuanga, it makes the web page load very slowly, okay? But the import way is already directly to the style.css. So if I'm wrong, just kindly give up the comment, okay? So now we're gonna use the import. Now because they've suggested we just use the 400 and 700, so we are going to choose this one here, one value. So we don't want all the weights like 100 to 900. We just need the regular 400. So I'm gonna copy this one. So nowadays they have updated. So on top of our style.css, I will paste that up. So this is for the 400. And again, we need the 700 bold, okay? All right, so we only need those two right there. Now, what next? Now, the next thing we need is the colors, okay? So we're gonna use a CSS variable way. So this is CSS3. So CSS3 help us to come up with variables, okay? So that it makes us easier whenever we want to change a theme color of our site. instead of just going on each element. Unanielewa? So copy this one. Let me copy it, and then inside this style I'm gonna use the root. This root means for the variables. Okay, so I'm gonna paste it here, and then this weight I give. How do we name a variable in CSS? Tutatumia 2 hyphens in front of that variable, hyphen, and then the name, and then we close it with a semicolon. We come to the next one, which is the light gray. So light gray, and then I close it with a semicolon. This one also, and then this one also. Okay, save it. Okay, now when we save it, it automatically formats nicely. This is because of this framework here, prettier. Okay, nice. Now what next? There's nothing changing here on our application, sindio, on our challenge. So on our practice challenge hakuna kitu ina change, it's just the same. The font is the default one, bado haijakula the outfit font type. Okay, so what we need to start with asterisk. I know you remember the asterisk. So this one, it means the default for all elements in our web page. So I'm gonna start with the margin. So kabla sijamalizia, check this out. There is some margin here. So when I write here margin 0 and then I save, there is no margin, you see? Alright, so I'm gonna continue with the padding 0, box sizing, border box. Then font family, I'm gonna use the one we've been provided with, which is outfit. Outfit there, okay? So I'm gonna write outfit the way it is. And whenever there is no internet or the font cannot be reached, then we're gonna use the default one, sans serif, which is all over all the machine. Okay, save up. When we save up, boom, look at this. So we have the font already integrated, imported, and it is being used as the default. So this one changed and this one changed. Okay, now we have imported our font, our colors are there. Now let's start coding our style sheet. Okay, so we need this design accurately. So we've not been provided with the Figma file, so we're gonna just try to come up with the exact design. Okay, so hapa macho inafaa kuwa chonjo. So kama unavaa miwani, toa hiyo miwani, weka miwani vizuri kwa macho. So hapa tukiangalia hapa tuko na this main, sindio? Niliwaambia kuna hii main, sindio? And then we have this div, the container. So we're gonna try to center it and also give this background to our main. Okay, so let's do that. So let's come to our HTML file. Tuko na this main. Let me try and increase the font for you. We have this main ID main. So I'm gonna come to our style and use hash main. We're using hash because it's an ID selector. Okay, hashtag main, and then I'm gonna give it a background color or variable. So this is how we use these variables. We just start with the var and then the name of the variable, light gray. Ama inakaa color gani? Light gray, sindio? So light gray hapo naipatia light gray. Nikisave, you see we have the light gray there. Wonderful. Now there's this space here. So how do we deal with that? We're gonna give our main container a width and a height. So width 100 VW, that means the viewpoint width ya hiyo screen yako. Okay, and then the height naipatia 100 VH, meaning the height of your screen. If I save it, boom, you see, so tuko na haka color imeoccupy the whole of this screen. Okay, now the next step is what? Centering these elements, the container, the div container. Okay, we're gonna need to center them up. Okay, let's center them where? Here, sindio? Let's do that. So I'm gonna come back to my index.html. Okay, let me return here display flex. So we're gonna use a display flex to center our element. Okay, there are many ways you can use display grid, you can use display flex. Kuna wengine wanatumia some tricks, but for me I'm gonna go with the display flex. Alafu nipatie. Now remember, in this main tag, before I say display flex and save, we have how many elements inside this main? Tuko na hii ya kwanza, div class container, and then tuko na hii footer id footer. Hizi ni how many elements? 2. Okay, now when I say display flex, so before I save it looks like this. So remember, let me increase. Remember that we have this element footer and we have this element container, div container. So when I say display flex, let's see what happens. When I say display flex, okay, I'm getting this. So the footer inakuja wapi? This side. The div container inakuja wapi? This side. So that means that's the default for display flex. Inakuanga row. So what do we need to do? We gonna say flex direction column. That's it. Okay, we are back. And then I'm gonna say justify content center, and it does what? It brings this element center, top and bottom. And then I'm gonna say align items center. Boom. And then what? The element is centered. Okay, haya tuanze sasa kuwork on our container. So tushamalizana na centering of our element. Now let's come back to, let me close this style guide. So the desktop design, we have this. Let me zoom. Okay, okay, there. So let's work on this container of background white. So the name of it is what? Div class container. So I'm gonna say hashtag main because it's the parent. Okay, let me just say dot container, but I prefer we give the specificity hashtag main dot container, and then we're gonna give it width. Let's give it some width. Let's say 200 pixel. Let me just check it out. Okay, let's start with the color. Background color, let's say variable white. We have a white. Why is it white? Let me check it out. Yeah, so we have a background white there. Let's give it a width now. 200 pixel. Let's see if it is accurate. This one, let's check this part. Okay, let me say 300. Don't worry, it's gonna fit. Okay, and then I don't need the height because the height increases depending on the element sizes. Now another thing we need is what? The border radius. So as you can see here, we need border radius, right? So this border radius here, that corner. So I'm gonna say border radius of what? Maybe 8 pixel. So it's just, we are just guessing the numbers because we don't have the actual Figma file. Okay, now another thing we need is what? These elements, as you can see, you can either use the method of display flex, so that we have these divs element in the image, we have the title, we have the paragraph. So when I say display flex, I'm gonna arrange them nicely and align them center nicely. I love display flex, so I'm gonna say display flex, justify content center, align item center, and then there is a gap. So what is the meaning of a gap? The gap, as you can see, the gaps between this one here and this one here. So I'm gonna say gap, let's say 1 rem. I love using rem. Now when you say display flex, the default is row. You see how it is arranged? Now I'm gonna come here and say flex direction column. Boom, there we have it. Another thing before we enter to this image, it's so large, don't worry about it. So the next thing is what? The padding. Do you see the padding? This padding here. So what's the size? Let's come here and give it a padding. Let's say 1 rem again. So as you can see here, let me zoom for you. So this padding here, that's great. Yeah. Let's come to our next div container, which is the image container. The image part, the name of it is image part. So I'm gonna come here and say dot container because the container is the parent, and then dot img part, image part. I'm gonna give it a fixed width, so let's say width of 100%. Let's try that, so that it occupies the whole. When I say that, and then I come to the image itself, so dot container dot image part img width 100%. Right, there we have it. So we have the image there and the padding. And then another thing we are seeing here, so this img is the img tag. Naona hii img tag, hiyo ndo tunainstyle sasa, okay? So nikirudi hapa, so we're gonna give it a border radius, let's say 5 pixel. Is it making sense? I'm zooming for you to view, so let me zoom. Is it making any sense? Yeah, that's perfect, I think. Let me see the desktop design. Let me see the design. Yeah, sindio? Ukiangalia, hii ni kona sana, hii ni kona kidogo. Kona kidogo, sindio? So yeah, so this is a 5 pixel and this one is 8 pixels. So we don't have the Figma design, so najua utaelewa. We finished up with the image part, but there is some weird thing I want to fix. Ukiangalia this width, okay, and my width, and my what, and my width zinatoshana, niongeze kidogo, si ndio? So what I'm gonna do, let me add a little bit from this side. So width, let me say 350. We're just playing with numbers. This we are just playing with the numbers. This is CSS. Yeah, English dude. Okay, 350 is not bad, right? Nice. Now let's head up to our next div, which is the title part. So nakuja hapa title part, tuko na hiyo h1 hapo. So I'm gonna say who is the parent, dot container. So dot container dot title part. I'm gonna give it let me check the design first. So it is like this, and then when I come here, it's like this. So there is some centering, align item center, so I'm gonna say text align center. I don't know why this align item center is not working. Okay, text align center. All right. Now, after doing that, the next thing is what? The coloring and the font size, So I'm gonna come here, dot title part, h1, the h1 element, So I'm gonna say, let me first give the color variable. Which color is it? Can it be grayish blue, dark blue? Let me see it again. Something dark blue. Let me say dark blue. All right, there it is. Now we need to give the font size, right? So font size nipatie okay, so here jambiwa, so I'm gonna try and give it 14 pixels. It's so small. If I use 18 pixels, let me check the design nione gani imeteremka. So hapa chini nafai kuwa skills, we are guessing the size. So skills iteremke chini, so tuongeze ngapi? Mbao, kula mbao, bado 22, bado. No, I love playing these numbers. So 24, haya tupatie 28. All right, improve your front-end skills by building projects. Right there, let me check the design. Okay, and another thing, I'm seeing there is some paddings again. Unaiona? Yeah? Look at this padding here and look at this padding from this side. Anything cooking up? So look at mine here. This one and this one. So that means what? Either we play with the width of these div elements, ama tucheze na padding, tuweke hizi zikiwe under one parent. Okay, so let me try and play with the width of this title part container. Let me try and say width, let me try and say 80% of the parent. Okay, let me try and say 90%. And then I play with the font again, I say 24. Right there. Ama namna gani? Alright, good. So width kameingiana vizuri hapo. Now let's come to this next part, the text part. The text part. So I'm gonna say dot text part. Okay, the parent is container. Container dot text part. Okay, let me check the design again. Alright, alignment is center. And okay, the same width. So text align. We have the same thing. If you don't want repetitions, we have the same thing here. Text align center width 90. You can just add a comma here. Okay, and then you do what? You just write the name of the class name of that element right there, and then you can comment this out. So both ways win. Okay, now I save it up. Okay, now there is some colorings around. See, let me check the design again. There's some coloring about grayish hivi. Let me check my variables. Niko na grayish blue hapo, si ndio? So let's come back here and go to dot text part P, because P is the paragraph element, si ndio? So I'm gonna give it what? A coloring. Color. What's the color? Variable. What's the variable name? Okay. Grayish, yeah. Gray. Oh. Hey. Grayish blue. Save it up. Let's check it out. There it is. Okay. Now, tukiangalia mentor, hii inaanza na scan mentor there. Nikikuja hapa, scan mentor there iko huko juu. Tufanye nini? How can you guess it? Tunaongeza font size, okay? I'm gonna give it a font size of, let's say, already we have a variable for font. So var font size. Oh, where is the font size? Yeah. So I can add up here because nakumbuka tuliambiwa font size ni ngapi. So font for paragraph, ama font p tag 15 pixel. Okay, so you can come here and say variable font p tag. Okay, all right. And dog. So we need to do what? Okay, so what I'll do, let me play this font again. 18 pixels. Do here. Scan. Mentor. Oh, you ain't any there. So if I check it here, yeah, you ain't any there. So I'm gonna come here. Let's try and do 20. So big, right? So let's just remain with the default 15. What we'll do, tukiangalia style guide, inasema font size ya paragraph ni 15. So what we're gonna do, we're gonna play with the width. Okay, so let me return this again. But what I'll do, I'll remove this text align center because we have it here. So I'm gonna say the width to be, let me save I see. So niongeze width ama nipunguze? Nipunguze, si ndio? 70. Niongeze kidogo 80. Yeah, there it is. Scan the QR code to visit Frontend Mentor and take your coding skills to the next level. Okay? Aya. What next? Let's confirm our div container if it is accurate as the design. Nikirudi hapa, there is some spaces here. See these spaces? This spacing is a padding. Rudi kwa our container here, we're gonna give a padding from the what? From the bottom. So I was giving it 1 rem, so let's try and give it 2 rem, double the normal. Bado kidogo, nipatie 2.5 rem. And again, these border radius idhani kama inaingiana. These border radius. Okay, let me see. So this border radius, yeah, hii naona vile ni kubwa sana. So I'm gonna add up my border radius, let's say 12 pixels. Okay, not yet. Let me give it 16 pixels. No, that makes sense. Yeah, so that's the div container. Already we have the image tag, the image part there. We have the title already set, the paragraph already set. If I zoom in, zoom out, everything is perfect. Okay, but later confirm na watu wa mobile phone, don't worry. The responsivity, kuna jamaa aliongelelea about responsiveness of to mobile screen. So I'm gonna still show you how we can do that. So the last part now we're gonna deal with is the footer part. Now we need some spacing there. So doing that, tunaweza ruditio hapa kwa main. Remember the use of the gap. So I'm gonna just say gap. I'm gonna give it maybe 3 rem gap. Boom, there we have it, right? So some stylings, ukitaka unaweza style hizi a tag, so we can do that also. So let's enter to our footer. So our footer element ID is footer. So you can just write, so let me say the footer part, okay? So it's good to comment your code, by the way. So you can say footer or you can say hashtag footer, okay? So hashtag footer. And then we're gonna enter the small. You remember that element? Small. Nikifungua hii kuna hii small hapa. So hiyo small nataka to edit. So hiyo small, and then we need to edit. Inside small we have a tags, ndio? So small, and then I say a, the anchor ama the anchor tag. So a, I'm gonna say text decoration none. That meaning don't underline. Okay, so there's no the line. The underline is not there. Wait. Yeah. And then we need some colors, right? So I'm gonna give it a color. Let me give the theme color there. So I'm gonna say grayish blue, the dark blue for the. Okay, let me say grayish blue. Okay, haionekani. So we can make an hover effect whenever a person analeta mouse hapo kufinya, it change some colors. Unajua hiyo? Wacha nionyeshe. So I'm gonna give it hashtag footer small a full colon hover. Nakumbuka nionyesha about these selectors. Okay, a hover, okay? So I'm gonna say change the color to dark blue, okay? So ukileta mouse ina change. Kuna vile ina change haraka. If you want a little bit of animation, you can just come here and say transition. You can say 0.2 seconds, ease in or ease out or ease in out, okay? So ease in out, so ikikuja sinaona. So yeah, something like that, okay? Alright, so this for desktop, tumaliza na watu wa desktop. So it's very responsive. So we're gonna go and confirm with the mobile screen. Tuone kama inatoshana, okay? Yeah. Haya, tukuje kwa watu wa mobile screen viewers, okay? The responsivity. So najua kuna jamaa comment ya kwamba how do we do responsivity on our CSS? So this can be helpful to you also and some other practices that will be coming later. So tutafanyaje? So what we do, right on your browser, malio project kukufanya, just right click on the free space and then go to inspect. Okay, there is a shortcut for that. No worry, Chrome inakuanga nayo, I think. So inakuja kitu kama hii. So what I prefer to use, so kuna a lot of devices here. Kama unataka kuview on iPhone, na kuna iPhone vile itakaa, Moto G4, okay, I usually use this one. Ama unataka just this one to play with the sizes. So I can see the responsivity is there, but when the mobile is too small, this container element inapita hapa. Unaona hii? There's some issues, okay? So ukishaona hiyo issue, then you need to know that there is a need for responsivity for mobile, okay? All right, let's do that. So let's come back here to our... So let's remove the desktop design. Let's open the mobile design that we have been provided. just take a look on it, uangalie kuna size gani na gani hapa. Kuna hii space, so inamaanisha hii div container inafai kutoshea just like this, okay? So let's come back to our style.css, okay? So tuweke, let me put a comment, mobile screen viewers, and then we're gonna use something called at media, and then max width. So what is the meaning of this max width? So max width inamaanisha screen, the maximum screen width ya hiyo device inatumika kuangalia hiyo website yako. So max width kisema 800 pixel. So I've just made some researches. So siku hizi watu wanakuanga simu za mang'ombe bigi, so I know zinakuanga nowadays the pixels zinakam bigi, so they're mostly and widely used by many users. I prefer going with 800 pixels, okay? Now, let me show you an example, the use of this media query. So tukirudi kwa hii main yetu, background color ni light gray. Nikikuja hapa niseme hashtag main, background color badala light gray ikue black. Inamaanisha nini? That means any device screen that has a width of 500, 600 pixels, background yake itakuwa black. There you are. Naona? Lakini nikiangalia kwa watu wa laptop, watu wa big screen sizes, let me use this one. Where is my Surface Nest Hub? Haya, ukiangalia hapo unaona nini? The background is something like bluish. Ukiangalia hapo unapata watu wa mobile screen viewers wanapata background ya black. So let me just remove the normal. Nilikuwa nataka kuonyesha hiyo. We don't need the main tag. So tukirudi kwa hii mobile design yetu, tumesema tunahitaji some width to this div container, right? So what I need to do, let me make hiyo minimum hiyo ilikuwa inapitisha. So what you need to do, just use this select an element, okay? So I click this one and then I choose the div container. Then as you can see, we have something fixed. The width is 350 pixels fixed. Yani inamaanisha hata screen ikuwe ndogo aje, hii container lazima ichukue width ya 350. Unaona? So what do we need to do? Tunacheza na hii. Okay? So I put 100%. Inafanya nini? Inachukua the whole screen. Hatutaki hivyo. Sinio kwamba tunahitaji some spaces. So let's play with the numbers. When I say 90 bado, let me say 80. Nope, 85. Right? So when I view it on my mobile Moto G4 here, at least there is some spaces. Sindio? That ka space. Perfect. Lakini sasa tumeharibu vitu zingine. Sindio? So tumeharibu nini? We have messed up with this title. We have messed up with this paragraph. So we're gonna need to play with also those. So just use this select and then choose the title and then choose a font size tuseme kama mbao ndio imetoshea. So forgotten this div class container. So what you need to do is just take this one and then what we need to do, we're gonna place it on style. I'm gonna place it on our style. So just paste it here and then give it the width of 85%. Sindio? Haya, another thing, tunakuja hapa kwa title part. Title part tulipatia, where is it? The font size of 20 pixels. So just copy this element here and then paste it. Font size ni ngapi? 20 pixels. Save. Alright. Let's come back to what. So, tunahitaji nini? So let me refresh again. So hii tag yetu hatuwezi change directly because we have a variable. And this variable is 14 pixels, okay? It's 15 pixels, sorry. So what I need to do, I'm going to come here. So the variable is flexible, it can be changed. So just write the name of the variable, font p tags. And then we give the 14 pixels. And then that is. Scan the QR code to visit Frontend Mentor. Take your call. Let's confirm with the design file. There it is in there. Perfectly sized. And also our footer, there's no need to mess up with it. I'm seeing it's already fixed. Let me try with the responsivity. Yeah, you see the responsivity? Everything is working. So, yeah. Perfect. So, okay, so that's it, guys. So as you can see, everything is responsive here for both mobile users and desktop viewers, okay? So that was just like that, just simple my guys, eh? So hata kama ulikuwa unafuatilia ukitumia simu ukicode, the same thing will be the output, okay? So this is all the code. So I'm gonna drop my GitHub link to this challenge, the GitHub repo link to this code, and then we can just upload it to our Frontend Mentor. But for me, I was just showing you our practices of web, right? So I hope you learned 1 to 3 things from this video. All right, so let's meet up in the next video, my guys, to the next practices you're gonna do. So don't worry, tune up, continue tuning in, my guys, continue sharing this channel, manze, itakuwa kitu best sana. So that's it, wadau, take care, peace.